Okay, let's look at this letter. Maybe you can avoid saying the. You can just start by saying charge nurse, Green Valley Nursing Home, Brisbane, 28th April. Dear nurse, regarding Miss Nina Palmer, age 71, I'm writing to update regarding. It's not an update letter since the patient is new to the nursing home. It's better to write refer or transfer Miss Palmer, who is recovering from renal failure, secondary to dehydration. She requires follow-up or continued care and management from your service. Her discharge is due for tomorrow. It's not clear in the case note that is given. It's not clear when the discharge is happening. So, assuming that you're writing on letter on 28th and you're going on 29th, yeah, this is true. Ms. Palmer has been receiving regular care from our facility. There is no such information mentioned in the case note. They only say that the patient has been staying at your ward for the most time of her hospital stay. So I think that information has been misinterpreted here. So in the next line, initially she is, it's not she is, it's she was. It's a thing that happened in the past. So we should be writing she was in coma stage and ventilated for 7 days. So you can say, I mean, better you can know she was admitted to hospital in coma stage and she was ventilated for 7 days. That would be more appropriate. So now you can give a good, there'll be a good start line for this paragraph. Then further, during hospitalization, her elevated, just be careful of the spelling, elevated spelling, just be careful, elevated blood urea and creatinine. It's not blood urea and the elevated level of, okay, elevated level of blood urea and creatinine. So just look at the spelling of creatinine, that is having some error. Were corrected by giving dialysis. Okay, later, just be careful of the spelling of the word later. She was diagnosed as hospital acquired. She was diagnosed with, just be careful, we normally say diagnosed with hospital acquired pneumonia, and which was treated, and is not required, which was treated with daily 2-hour chest physiotherapy for 2 weeks, which was treated with daily 2-hour, 2-hour daily, okay, chest physiotherapy for 2 weeks, and by administration of, we better to write by administration of 2 liters of oxygen via nasal prongs. Okay, I mean, this needs to be continued. Maybe you can mention this aspect in the discharge plan. It's not mandatory to mention here. A family conference was held on 25th March and decided to shift Miss Palmer to Brisbane. Currently, her condition was quite settled. Currently and was, we don't use them together. Quite settled with the decreased confusion. She can be able to do her activities of daily living. Now, we're having some confusion here because you're mixing your social history here, and we're not clear. That aspect is not clearly mentioned. Okay. Let's see what information should be writing here. Now, it's mandatory that we speak about the family because she stays with her husband, and in the search plan it says that husband will be accompanying her, but he will be living in a hostel. So since we need to mention that information in the discharge plan, maybe we can put a background here. How can we do that? So you can say that following a family decision, Mr. Palm is to be shifted to your nursing home in Brisbane. Okay, so that information can be given, and her husband who will accompany her but stay in a separate hostel. Okay, that information, both in the information that she is planning to move after a family decision and her husband's decision to stay in the hostel can be mentioned together in a quick manner here. That would do. I mean, there's too much information about her son being a medical representative, so much of information that can be cut short and made into crisp. Okay, so now there are some I think some important information from ICU. Yeah, ICU informations were covered. Now there is some information regarding her her ability to do daily activities. Okay, I think you have mentioned that here. Maybe that can be mentioned in a bit more clear manner towards maybe towards the end of the hospitalization. You can mend that. You can write that information in a clear manner that is missing here. What all information need to be mentioned? You should have said that she need assistance, even she needs prompting for carrying out her daily activities, even though she can do these independently. So these two information need to be mentioned. You should have mentioned, towards the end of the hospital information regarding hospitalization that you have mentioned here. So that information was missing here. Okay, then you can mention the family history, as I said, the moving to Brisbane following a family decision, and the information that her husband will be accompanying her but will be staying in a separate hospital. These information are very important. Now continuing to the final paragraph, it's not Mr., it's Miss Palmer needs to be encouraged for uh, for maintaining good hygiene independently. So this, I think, we must have covered when we spoke. Here this is covered. Please ensure that she is adequately hydrated to prevent further renal complications. Okay, can you repeat her electrolyte, urea, ferritin? Repeat her tests, right? Repeat her blood tests for electrolytes, right? Blood tests for electrolytes, urea and creatinine, uh, once a week. Okay, once a week, that should be written here. All right, then following that, her husband will stay. This is, already mentioned in our this thing. What is missing is one information that she mentioned earlier, but I would have written here, that is her O2 prompts. O2 therapy needs to be continued as per the level of her oxygen saturation. That information should be given. Okay, then yeah, these are the basic information that needs to be provided towards the end. Okay, so that needs to be added towards the end. Please note that this comma is not required. Her medical history and medications to be, note that details, right? Details of her medical history and medications are to be forwarded or will be forwarded. That would be will be forwarded. Please contact me for any queries, and it's yours sincerely. So I would write yours faithfully here. Okay, since it's a nurse, since you are addressed to a nurse, you can write yours faithfully, charge nurse. Okay, in overall, this letter had some factual errors in it, had some elements of information, but the greatest problem was in the mixing of family history, too much of family history, which should have been shortened. Okay, and some information like blood test and some these details were missing. So just focus on how you structure it, and some grammar errors are there. Just be careful about that. Update your grammar knowledge. But it's a good attempt. You have a structure, but it needs some kind of more precision is required in terms of writing. Okay, appreciate your structure, but you need to practice more and improve the writing. All the best. That's all.